Fake it till you make it is useless if you don't know the words to say. How many times have you in your life ever been given the advice to just fake it till you make it, or be more confident, or don't be nervous, or you'll be fine, just don't worry about it? I bet if you're a person who identifies as introverted or awkward or shy or socially anxious, those sentiments are about as useless as you can get. You can't just be more confident if you don't have a reason to be more confident. Telling someone don't be nervous is like telling someone don't think about cheeseburgers, because now all they can think about is cheeseburgers, right? If you want to be able to be more confident and less nervous, wouldn't it make more sense that instead of a pep talk, what you really need is a stronger skill set on how to approach these situations in a way that you can feel confident will be really successful? The problem with telling someone to fake it is that most of the time their response is inside their head, how? How do I fake it? What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to react? If I knew how to fake it, it wouldn't be fake. I would just be doing it. I would just be acting this way or saying these things or responding well to these situations. So telling someone to fake it is extremely confusing advice, because on the inside, that person is going, that is of no help. I need to know what to say. I don't need a pep talk. I need some skills on how to deal with this situation. And I need some confidence. When someone tells you be more confident, well, that's great, but how do you become more confident? Well, how you truly become more confident is to improve your skills or to have a better understanding of how something works so that you can feel confident that your approach is the appropriate one, or that your response will be well received because it is the expected response, or it is nearly always a well-received response. That confidence comes from successful action. But how can you have the successful action if you don't know what to do in the first place? So this is advice that I hear and that I see. I see it on social media. I see it when I'm speaking to team leaders who are having difficulty with the people on their team lacking confidence. And the team leaders telling me, I'm always telling them, be more confident. And in my head, I'm thinking, I appreciate that you care and that you want them to do well, but that is about the most useless thing you could ever tell them. Just be more confident, guys. You're gonna kill it out there. Well, no, not just by believing. You can believe that you can fly. You jump off the roof, you're probably gonna end up in the hospital. Believing in something is not enough if you don't have the skills to go with it. So believing that you're awesome is great, but if you don't also have the interpersonal skills to be able to successfully present yourself well, network with others, problem solve, deal with conflict, lean into difficult conversations, if you don't have those skills, then you can be really, really confident, but not necessarily very successful. Does that make sense? So in my course, Art of Conversation, 6 weeks from awkward to articulate, my aim is to build your confidence from the inside out and to build your skills, starting with the foundational skills, so that you can feel really confident, you can come across really well to others, and so that your ability to handle the situation will be massively improved because your skill set will be massively improved, that your understanding of the best way to come across or the best way to handle a wide variety of difficult conversations or difficult situations will be spot on. You can be more confident because you will have reason to be more confident. You don't have to fake it anymore because you just simply will be more confident and competent and better able to handle the situations that you come across in your daily life. Now, if you're not already familiar, my course is a 6-week course. The first module is Conversation 101, where we go over the very basics of how to make a great first impression, how to present yourself well to others, how to come across as well-spoken and competent and well-educated, and to make a really, really great impression on other people of who you are as a person. In Module 2, we go over small talk skills, and we go over all of the ways that you need to improve your skills in order to successfully connect with new people, whether that's at a family event, a friend's event, a volunteer function, a work event. No matter what it is, connecting with new people is connecting with new people. It's a very certain set of skills that you will learn in Module 2. In Module 3, we go over money, religion, and politics. We are not going to go over how to convince other people of your opinion. We are going to go over how to keep your opinion to yourself, even when you're being pushed to give an opinion that you really don't want to give, how to hold boundaries around topics that you know are hot button issues and are not going to end well, and you know every bone in your body is screaming, I do not want to have this conversation. I'm going to show you how to wrap it up, how to get away from it, how to hold boundaries around it, and how to have conversations around tricky topics like someone asking to borrow money from you, or someone asking you to give a donation, or other sorts of situations where that person is wanting some of your resources, and how do you handle those conversations? In Module 4, we go over dealing with conflict. And this is a huge module. There's a lot of really great information in this module. And we do go over direct conflict because sometimes that does happen. But we also go over indirect conflict. How do you deal with someone who's being condescending or passive aggressive? How do you deal with someone who is doing their best to avoid a confrontation, but this is something that you really, really need to be dealt with? So we go over conflict in all of its many forms, including direct, but not only including direct, out and out, someone's yelling at you and what do you do sort of conflict. In Module 5, we go over personal advocacy. And this is something that is very important to me because in your life, you're not just having one-off conversations with people. You're having ongoing relationships. And those ongoing relationships require a certain finesse. They require a certain approach because you are not only having to deal with whatever's right in front of you, whether that's a conflict or whether it's just you asking for something that you need, you trying to get access to something that you're being denied access to. Those sorts of situations, maybe these are medical records that are your records and you're getting pushback on this. You know, this could be at the bank, at the doctor's office, at the DMV. How do you handle it when you need something and the person on the other side of that counter just really isn't feeling too keen on giving it to you? How do you entice that person to want to help you and to be inclined to give you the things that you're asking for without having to turn into a Karen? We're going to go over that in Module 5. In Module 6, we go over connecting with those who are hurting. This is something that I have people tell me all the time they wish they were better able to handle. Someone shares bad news with them and they have no idea how to respond. So they either say something that they later regret and think, oh, that was the cringiest thing I could have said. Why did I say that? Or they're so afraid of saying the wrong thing that they say nothing. And then they feel a lot of frustration and maybe even a little bit of guilt that they knew that that person needed some words of encouragement or support or condolences from them. And they weren't able to meet that need because they didn't know how. And that was very frustrating and upsetting to them because they wanted to be able to connect. They wanted to be able to help. They wanted to be able to be there for that person. And they weren't able to because they didn't know how. So in Module 6, we go over all of that. How do you handle bad news? How do you have a conversation with someone about really tricky topics like terminal illness or progressive illness or grief? How do you lean into these conversations instead of feeling like you would rather melt through the floor than have to have them? Because in these moments, that is when some of the most heartfelt connection can be had between you and another person. Sharing these difficult emotions, holding space for someone who's going through a lot of difficulty, being able to be there for someone who just needs a listening ear without feeling the need to squirm away from that conversation because it makes you so uncomfortable. Those are the moments where you can actually feel some of the most rich fullness of human connection. And in my work in home health as a physical therapist, working with the oldest and the sickest of our population and having to have these conversations on a regular basis, I can tell you from personal experience how rewarding and fulfilling it can be to be able to be the person who can lean in instead of having to run away emotionally or physically from those conversations. So I hope that you can see that this arc of starting at the very beginning and working our way all the way through these difficult scenarios, but scenarios that you encounter maybe even more frequently than you realize. If you start paying attention throughout your day, how many times do these irritations arise, or meeting a new person, or starting up a random conversation with someone at the grocery store because you're both waiting in line to check out? How many times do you ask someone how they're doing innocently? Hi, how are you today? And they respond by offloading a lot of stress that's been building on them, and it just happens to overflow in that moment. And you're standing there going, I do not even know how to respond to this. I was not expecting this. I don't know what to do now. Why did I ask that person how they're doing? It can be so many things throughout your day. Going to the post office and thinking you're going to get something accomplished and having the other person on the other side say, no, we don't do that, when you know that they do that because the last person who helped you did it for you. Well, how do you have this conversation? A lot of people might just go, okay, thanks, and walk away because they don't want the conflict, but they don't know how to handle it. And they know that they're right because I was here last week and this other person did this for me. But how do I communicate that? How do I have this conversation in a way that I can feel comfortable and confident having it, and that it doesn't have to turn into a conflict? This is personal advocacy. It doesn't have to be a conflict, but I do need this certain thing, and this is the only place where I can get it, and can you please help me with this because it's very important to me. So being able to communicate your needs, your feelings, your boundaries, being able to have a conversation with someone and know that it doesn't matter if they're having a good day or a bad day, if they're going to say something condescending or something encouraging. It doesn't matter if they're going to share this bad news that they just got, or if they're going to tell you they just hit the lottery. You know you're going to handle it because you have the skills to handle it. No more faking it till you make it. We're just making it around here, because now we have the confidence and the skills, the boundaries and the mindset, and the words to say to handle whatever comes your way. If you don't know this about me by now, I want to be really clear that I am not here to give a pep talk. I'm not here just to say, you can do it, you're awesome, just try harder. I am here to give you concrete examples of exactly what to say to handle all of these scenarios that you come into contact with. Every single module, every single video in my course has the explanation, the theory, the mindset shift, the understanding of how to do something. At the end of the day, we still have to put our feet to the ground. We still have to know what to say. Understanding to be kinder or to be more confident or to be better connected or to seem more confident, well, that's great, but if I don't know how, if you can't explain to me what to say in these scenarios, then it's not going to work. And I make it my top priority to make sure that you can practically implement every single thing I teach in my course, every single video, every single piece of content, every single concept is full of what to say so that you can be successful in these scenarios. There are gorgeous workbooks that go along with every single module to make sure that you can do the inner work, the reflective work, the working through it work, to make sure that you know how to apply these things in your own life so that you have time to think through, how can I apply this to me? How can I say this in a way that feels authentic to me and that I know that I can say easily and with confidence to other people, but it sounds like me. So I'm going to give you the foundation. I'm going to give you tons of examples. I'm going to tell you what the components need to consist of. And then I give you the opportunity and the ability to make it your own so that it's still you, it's still your voice, it's your authentic self. Just the very best and most connected version. If you have any questions for me at all, I'm just a DM or an email away. If you're seeing this video when it comes out, you need to hurry, because if you want to take my course, the doors are open now, but they will be shutting very soon. The last day to sign up for this round of my course is on May 12th. First day of class is May 16th. If you want to go check out all the details of the course, every single thing you're going to learn, all the gorgeous bonuses, all of the amazing support tools, you can go to courses.yourconversationexpert.com/art of conversation. If you're seeing this video down the road and May 12th has passed, never fear. I will open the course again in the future, although it will be several months down the road before I'm opening the doors again. However, you can make sure that you will not miss that opportunity by going to yourconversationexpert.com/course and getting on my waiting list so that you can be first in line when the doors open again. But if you're catching this video in real time, you want to hurry up and get in now so that you can have all of these amazing skills right at your fingertips just in time for summer. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to understand more about the course, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And otherwise, I will see you in the course, or I will see you in next week's video. Take care.